Welcome to the Selling from the Heart podcast on the From the Heart Business Network. You've joined a global movement of sales professionals who are dedicated to being authentic and building trust. We call it Selling from the Heart. Together, we're on a mission to bring sincerity and substance to the sales profession we all love. Get ready to be inspired and equipped as we join our hosts, Larry Levine and Darrell Amy.
Does your CEO value trust and authenticity as a foundation of your company culture? If so, they'll love my award-winning book, Selling in a Post-Trust World.
This powerful book dives into the principles of authentic leadership, showing how trust and meaningful relationships can drive real results. It's a must-read for leaders who prioritize people, connection, and culture.
Now, you can send your CEO a free copy of this game-changing book. It's simple, free, and the perfect way to celebrate a leader who leads with heart.
So visit ceo.sellingfromtheheart.net and we'll send a free copy of the book to your CEO today. That's ceo.sellingfromtheheart.net. Because leaders who value trust will embrace this book and take your company's culture to the next level.
Hello and welcome back to the Selling from the Heart podcast. Your co-host, Darrell Amy, here today with Larry Levine. What's going on, Larry?
Hey, what isn't going on? Always great seeing you. I get fired up. Every time we podcast, I get fired up. We're in for a treat today with our good friend, Mark Cox, Darrell Amy.
Lay, we are going to learn to love selling if you don't already. And one of the things I love about Selling from the Heart, we say this at the beginning of every show, is the community of heart-centered sales professionals and leaders all over the world. It's so fun interacting with you. We love hearing from you. And all of that. And we give a shout out every week to one of our friends that is out there selling from the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a special shout out to Michelle Hollinsworth. She's a regional sales manager inside the food service industry. This is highly competitive industry. Michelle, you wear your heart on your sleeve. So do all your salespeople all throughout your company. I appreciate you for waving the flag.
Hear, hear. Hats off, Michelle. We've got a great guest here in the studio today. We're excited to welcome our friend Mark Cox. He is the founder of In the Funnel Sales Coaching, one of the most trusted voices in sales leadership. With over 20 years of leading complex sales and building high-performance teams, Mark's mission is to elevate the profession through integrity, process, and repeatable strategies. He's also the author of this incredible book. Get this, Learn to Love Selling, the Universal B2B Sales Playbook. This is a must read for sales professionals who want to sharpen their skills and win more business. Mark brings a practical, no-fluff approach, helping professionals build trust-filled, authentic relationships while driving results. And he's here today with us in the studio. Mark, welcome to Selling from the Heart.
Hi, guys. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me. And a book called Learn to Love Selling. I had to be on the Selling from the Heart podcast.
You had to. It was guesting Mark Cox. I'm glad you're here.
It's got a heart on the cover. Well, a part of the process, or as our friends in Canada say, the process of the Selling from the Heart podcast is we ask every guest, what does it mean to you, Mark, to sell from the heart?
Well, first of all, I can speak American or Canadian, Darrell, whatever you like. If you need me to throw some A's in there for you to feel comfortable, I'll do that, eh?
Please do.
Selling from the heart for me really means selling through my authentic self. And that's one of the things I really loved about Larry's book, Selling from the Heart, that started the podcast with the two of you here. It's so great. But I think when I was young in my sales career, Darrell and Larry, I think I always had a veneer on, because I was living a unique life and a party life. And I thought the corporate world was so formal. And it always felt like everybody in the corporate world knew so much that I didn't know, which was probably true at the time. So there was this veneer up where I was pretending to be perfect. And of course, I was anything but perfect. And holding up the veneer was exhausting. So for anybody out there today, I love if you're new into sales, if you're somewhat mature into sales, you feel like you have to be perfect all the time. My coaching or counsel would be, let's just relax, be our best self, but be your true self, because that authentic connection, and Larry spoke all about this in his book, that authentic connection is really what we're trying to make when we engage somebody else and have another conversation. That's what we need as humans. So just be yourself.
You know what? Yeah, sometimes it's easier said than done. And I'm so glad that you brought this up, Mark, because I look back into my, when I started in the late 80s. So I'm in my 20s and I went through exactly what you just said. And I think there's that age old saying, with age comes wisdom. And I think sometimes we just have to figure this out as hard as it may be. We just can't pretend. We just got to bring that authentic self to the forefront, which means we just got to do some work. We got to do some inner work.
Well, it's so well said, Larry. And I think of those days, it was just this feeling of imposter syndrome. It always just felt, whenever you get to the next level, you're playing a sport, you get to the next level up. The game seems so much faster. The people are bigger, they're stronger. It takes a while to get used to things where you can just settle down and be yourself again. And we see that a lot with the teams that we train today, new people out of college or university. There's this belief that everything in business is so complicated. The three of us know it's not really that complicated, but it takes a bit of experience to get comfortable there. So one of the things I really loved about Selling from the Heart, the book as well said, you didn't run from it. You said, do the work. And the work is, hey, continue to work on your business acumen, continue to understand the industries that your customers are in, understand them and the challenge that they face. So do the work. But once you do the work, you feel so much comfortable being in front of somebody because so psychologically you felt like you earned the right to be in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, and as you earn the right, I think what you're going to do is you're going to learn to love sales. Hey, I love the title of the book. Nice. Phenomenal title. And by the way, if you're listening in, the link's in the show notes. You're going to want to grab a copy. There's a heart on the front of it. It's just so well aligned. But learning to love sales, unpack that for us. And how did you learn to love sales?
Well, again, great question. And thanks for the plug there, Darrell. I think in the beginning, to be honest with you, I fell into B2B sales right out of university. I really didn't know anything else to do. And I think there was this feeling like I wasn't hitting my potential. It felt like sales was a job anybody could get. Felt almost embarrassed socially to say I was selling copiers for a living, coming out of university and college. And the reality of it was I felt that way for a long time. Now, it was an amazing living, getting to help clients, go into different businesses, learn about different businesses, control my own time. Some of my peers that were in law or finance, they were having very unpleasant, apprenticeships, if you will, as they went tried to grow up the curve. But it was only years later when I went back and did an MBA, and I was really blessed being in a company where I came back. I was kind of running the sales organization, and I went to do an MBA thinking, hey, I'm going to do other things in this company. I came back from my MBA. They said, you can do anything you want. What do you want to do? And it was then that I had this epiphany that said, the only thing I want to do is B2B sales, because the only thing that matters in this company is B2B sales. Those folks are counting the money. These folks are delivering what we sell. But if we don't bring money in the front door, there is no business. And that's the one thing, once I actually got financial acumen and improved my business acumen, I realized that this actually is the most important business discipline out there, and it's not close. And it's really hard. Mm-hmm. The other thing that kind of hit me when I was going through my MBA back in those days, it was, the kind of MBA you do while you're working, executive MBA. They didn't teach any courses on B2B sales.
Nope.
I kept having these debates with the dean of the university going, are you crazy? I'm paying this amount of money to go through these courses. I got 4 finance courses, 4 marketing courses, 0 courses on sales, but they didn't get it. So it was really interesting to me going back into the world thinking, okay, this is the most important business function. Every number improves on the P&L if the revenue line improves.
Yep.
Every problem can be fixed if you can write a check to fix the problem. Mm-hmm. But sales is what gives us the ability to write a check to fix a problem.
Oh, this is so good, because I've always said this is if salespeople don't sell things, Money doesn't move through the economy at the rate that money needs to move through the economy. It's just the
Yes.
question is how are you going about selling the things that you're selling? Are you doing it in a very professional way?
Yeah.
Are you doing it in a very transactional way? Are you doing it in a very, we can insert any other words that you want to use in there that has some
Yeah.
negative connotation. Is sales is a noble profession. And that's why I'm glad you wrote this book, Learn to Love Selling. Sales is a great profession.
It's an amazing profession, Larry. The three of us believe it. I bet everybody listening to the podcast believes it. And the reality of it is, some of the smartest, most intellectually curious, problem solving folks I know are in B2B sales. It's difficult. Today, B2B sales is really management consulting. It's not pitching products, it's not doing demos. 35 years ago, when we all loved the copier industry, you did demos. You recorded yourself doing demos. I was the demo king of North America. It was a big deal, but I didn't know how to sell. I knew how to do a demo. Selling was figuring out how that huge piece of equipment would actually help that client drive revenue or increase profitability or deliver a service or capability better to their clients. I didn't really connect all the dots there. So I just think it's such an important topic these days. And there's no CEO out, listening to this podcast today that wouldn't say they would be delighted if they, drove 10, 15, 20% more revenue last year. There are a lot of CEOs out there that are saying if they drove 10, 15, 20% more revenue last year, they would still have their job. So I don't think everybody gets that today, the importance of this. But whether you're a SaaS business, manufacturing business, services business, this is the most important metric you're chasing for sure.
Your story so resonates with me, Mark. I mean, it was very, very similar story. I got a job selling copiers in the early 1990s.
Yay.
Thinking, I'll do that and I'll go to law school in a couple of years. And I was watching my friends graduate from law school and I was making more money than them and had an easier lifestyle. And so, along the way, I discovered exactly the same thing that you did is the profession of sales is an extremely noble profession.
Yeah.
It's a hard profession and it is demanding and it is one that will challenge you to your core. And I absolutely love that. And that's what I think is so beautiful about the profession of sales. And you're absolutely right. In the B2B space, we are advisors. We are consultants. We are if you're good at it and you want to be good at it, that's the mindset you have to take. So what are some other reasons? There's some other ways we learn to love selling.
Well, I think if you feel like you have some form of control over this. So the title of the book kind of came, Darrell, when, we literally trained thousands of salespeople at different levels. So mature salespeople, sales leaders, lots of new sales hires, the people that are getting onboarded into their companies. And I think there's this terror or fear that they just have no control over what happens to them. And the technology world, kind of drove this a little bit, but bringing in hordes of people, SDR, BDR farms of people, not training them, giving them metrics to hit. And I think everybody comes into work in that kind of environment a little bit scared to death all the time that they're going to be found out because they don't know what they're doing. They also feel like they have no control over their results because they can't connect the dots between a first conversation and creating a qualified opportunity and progressing it properly through discovery and then closing it. And so there's this sort of sense, not panic, but anxiety. And that's where if you learn to do this, you can love your job. You can enjoy it. There's pressure on everybody. So we have to face that. The three of us have pressure. We have results we have to hit, all of those kinds of good things. But the idea of learning to love it is to understand the connection between how an activity then that I do control then leads to an objective that then leads to a result. And that's the funnel. As I go through an activity to an objective to a result, I have less and less control at the end. But if I drive the things that I have control of, and Larry talked about putting in the work. At the beginning, we had a chit chat at the beginning of this thing, putting in the work. If I know I need X number of live conversations, approach calls in a given day, I have to put in the work to make that happen.
Mhm.
That's not just reaching out. That's not just engaging a sequence. That's doing my research before I start reaching out so that my reach out is that much more compelling. So that speaking specifically to somebody instead of spewing a generic script. And so we've seen it. The three of us are those people that had some success in sales, and inputs versus a process equal the outputs. So even when things are great, even when we have lots of deals on the go, we're closing lots of business, we still dedicate that time to filling the top of the funnel.
Mhm.
I think if you start to understand that, then you feel like you have a little more control over your life. And I'm one of those people, I need to feel like I have control. It's
Mhm.
not luck. It's not the economy. It's not my territory. It's not my product or service. It's not my competitors. For the most part, I can control my outcome. And I think that's such a helpful mindset shift. We talk about how to do that. And most of the book is this core playbook that explains how to convert your core capability into revenue. What are the 4 things that you have to do? But once you feel like you have some form of control over life, I think everybody starts to feel a little bit better.
Mhm.
And we did start the book. We started writing during the pandemic because there were lots of stats the three of us saw about mental health issues in B2B sales.
Yeah.
And it just felt like to me, I'm not a trained psychologist or anything, but I thought if we could create a playbook that could convert any B2B capability into revenue, we thought it would help a lot of people.
Mhm.
And it's a model we teach on anyway. And so that's really where they'll learn to love it came in.
Oh, this is so good. And I'm sitting here listening to what you're saying, and I just keyed in on a word, and I think it's a wrapper on this conversation. And the word's mindset.
Mm,
And this takes a really interesting mindset approach to all of this.
yeah.
Just unpack, how you vision mindset as we wrap mindset around what you just said. Where's this come into play?
That's so great. So, great observation, Larry. It's everything. And I wasn't smart enough to come up with it, but I did find I like Carol Dweck's work
Yeah.
on mindset. Her book on
Yeah.
mindset and this idea of growth orientation versus fixed orientation. I've got a growth mindset where I think through hard work, which you guys are advocates of, learning, development, coaching, failure, all those things are inputs that keep getting me a little bit better and better and better. And if I know I can continue to get better, nothing's going to devastate me. But if I have a fixed mindset where I think, you know what, I'm good in sales because I got a great personality and I'm talkative and people like me and I got my own system I came up with 35 years ago. If I put this and I'm never going to change and I'm not going to learn anything new, then any form of feedback or any form of failure becomes like a scarlet letter. It's punishing
Mm.
because I don't believe I can get better. So it's judging me and saying you're not good enough. And so to me, for everybody out there, I think the world we're in now in B2B sales, we have to be lifelong learners. We have to be
Yes.
learn-it-alls, not know-it-alls.
Mhm.
And once we embrace that, it becomes fun because I'm going to keep
Mhm.
learning. I want to keep learning. And the truth of it is, we were chit-chatting about sports beforehand. If you've ever come across like a professional athlete, they are so interested in any way to get like 3% better. So they a fitness coach, skating coach, shooting coach, hitting coach, nutrition coach, mindset coach.
Mhm.
And a head coach. So, but they're always working on, hey, I'm already one of the best in the world at doing this, but I got to figure out a way every quarter of getting 2% better, 3% better. It's a little bit of that, atomic habits, James Clear
Mhm.
atomic habits. And I think we're all in that world in B2B sales, just getting mindset of saying, I want to just keep improving.
No question about that. And there's also no question that we're living in a world of constant change. I don't know if we ever weren't, but I'll tell you what, it seems like crisis after crisis after crisis. And my thought as we're learning to love sales here is, if I've got just a sales mindset, or maybe just an average mindset, I don't like change. But if I've got the mindset of being a consultant, consultants love change. An advisor, advisors love change, because it's in those moments that we need different viewpoints, we need different solutions. So this is, I think, an incredible opportunity for us right now. While some people are wringing their hands and go, "Oh my goodness, all this stuff's going on," those with that mindset and an advisor, a consultant, are like, "Yes, all this stuff is going on. People need help. Let's figure it out."
Well, so well said, Darrell. And if we think that the definition of B2B sales is helping a client or prospect, let's just leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
When there are crises going on, the economy is tanking, or we've got a financial crisis, or there's some tariff discussion that's providing uncertainty, our clients need our help more than ever. And as Larry points out beautifully in the book, Selling from the Heart, sometimes that conversation about how we can help a client is going to lead to us being able to help them. But if there's an opportunity when we're having those, value conversations with our clients where we can figure out another way of helping them that doesn't lead to something for us, all the better, just fine. So this is where, being ourselves, really showing our intent to help somebody else, there's an opportunity. And our clients and prospects need more help today than they did 100 days ago, because the world's a little more topsy-turvy. And when there's uncertainty, they're looking for guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So the kind of people that listen to the Selling from the Heart podcast are growth-oriented. They're looking for ways to improve. They're going to do better in a more difficult environment, because what happens in a more difficult environment is tactical salespeople, people who sell on demos or price and those things, they just don't make it. Nobody wants that conversation anymore.
No.
Our clients and prospects need help. So this is the opportunity for everybody out there to shine. But that old proverb, when there's crisis, there's opportunity, changes take place.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody leaves a competitor account, let's say one of my main targets in my territory, we haven't been able to penetrate. They've got a great relationship with another sales training organization. But when things change, people leave companies. So if they've been a head of HR or head of sales that had a close relationship with another company, they may move jobs. As soon as they change, that's an opportunity for me, because old relationships we couldn't, penetrate, they get changed up. Or the salesperson on the training company side that might have had that relationship, they change.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a real time at this time, particularly this time of year. I would absolutely be going back to all those clients and prospects where you may have had a conversation a year ago, 6 months ago, a year ago. Reach out again. And again, you're not pitching your product, but just send them a voicemail, send them an email and say, "Hey, Larry, it's Mark Cox here. I was thinking of you in Selling from the Heart the other day. Love to have a 15, 20-minute chat, let you know a few of the things that we're seeing in the industry for organizations like yours. A couple of ideas to share. I hope everything's great. Are you available next Tuesday or Wednesday morning?" Reach out to them now. We're at a time of year where you can do things right now, team, that are still going to have an impact in this calendar year. Now is the time to go hard.
That's right.
Oh, this is so good. I'm going to hit on something, and this may upset the apple cart, but it plays into this conversation that we're having right now. There's going to be some people who love changing their hairstyle. There's going to be some people that love changing the glasses that they're wearing. Heck, we change our clothes on a daily basis. How many change themselves in order to adapt to all the changes that are going on in their clients' offices or their future clients' offices? And that's what we're talking about here in this wonderful conversation with Mark is everything around you is changing. You're used to change because you're doing it already. Every single day you're changing. Change yourself and your sales approach and watch what happens.
That could not have been said any better, Larry, with the exception of the analogy to changing the hairstyle.
I know.
So for people watching this podcast,
Sorry, Mark Cox.
Yeah, there may be one or two reasons I'm going to get touchy about that. If you check out the YouTube version of this, we'll move past it. We can move past it. We're big people here. We'll move past it.
Just think about how much money both of you save on haircuts. It's really good. You know, as we're wrapping this conversation up, Mark, I'm just thinking about, you know, this environment that we're in right now, that this continual change seems like, you know, around the corner is a quote unquote crisis. And, you know, there's some people that go, hey, well, when's this going to be over? Well, newsflash, probably not going to be over. It's going to be another one.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things we got to remember in all of this is when these things happen, especially for our friends in B2B, but it goes to our B2C friends as well. When these things happen, what people are buying changes, because people don't buy your products or services. They buy solutions to problems. And when the problems change, what we sell, or at least the way we go about selling, needs to change. And this is why I think I love selling. It's a continual puzzle to solve. You know, all of a sudden something new happens and we got to figure it out, because you may be selling the exact same product, but the problem's different and the solution has got to be reframed, and that's our job.
It's the subtitle of Selling from the Heart, right? This is why Larry's book is just resonates. Your authentic self, but you're selling you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the message for all of us is, you know, we have to continue to bring our best self to the table all the time. We have to continue to learn. We have to work on our business acumen. We have to work on our industry acumen. When we get the right to earn a great conversation with a client, we earn that right, but we learn. So by having 100 of those conversations as a company and sharing some of that information, part of our core competency is understanding what's happening in the market.
Yes.
We give it back to those clients. So
yes.
So I just think there's this huge opportunity from so many organizations to differentiate in their marketplace by how well they sell. We all sold a commodity back in the day. We're joking about how, Darrell, when you were with Lanier, you actually sold Kodak copiers. We're quite disrespectful of Kodak, by the way. I'm going to get you for that. We'll park that. We'll get back to you on that. But the truth of it is, they were very, very similar.
Yes.
What was unique,
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, they were very similar. So really what the difference is, it's us team.
Yep.
And by the way, I'm looking in the mirror when I say this, I have to keep learning. You know, one of the reasons I love podcasts like this, or when we hosted Larry on our podcast, it makes me read and study his book. And then I got to pull out the key learnings so we can talk about it on the podcast. And I love it.
Yeah.
Right. It's just this opportunity to meet smart people and learn from smart people like the two of you. So first of all, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. This is a great conversation. Great conversation.
But it's just so important for all of us today. And that includes the three of us to just keep learning.
What a fantastic conversation, Mark. And I know all our listeners are thinking, how can I get more Mark Cox in my life?
Oh, well, thanks, Darrell. The easiest way, team, is just to go connect with me on LinkedIn, please and thank you. And we try to put value-added content up there that'll be helpful for everybody. So it's Mark Cox at In the Funnel. That's on LinkedIn. And our website is inthefunnel.com. So
Beautiful.
Think of a sales funnel, inthefunnel.com. We'd love to hear from anybody, and please do connect with us. We love making new friends.
Super.
Oh, hey, you know what, Mark? You just made a gazillion new friends by coming on the Selling from the Heart podcast.
That's right. You did.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope I made two with you two.
You did for sure.
Of course.
Mark, you're a kindred spirit. Thank you for sharing your heart with us today. It's really been a fantastic conversation. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much for hosting me, guys. What a pleasure.
Oh,
Love
thanks.
it. Love it. And I love selling. We're all, not every day. Some days you got to relearn to love selling because it has its moments. There's no question about that. But I think what we were talking about at the end is so relevant right now, that we've got to look at sales through the lens of being an advisor, a consultant, somebody that is able to look at change and embrace it and recognize that our clients, our prospects have problems because of the changes out there, the crises out there. And it's our privilege and responsibility to help them solve it. And that's where the opportunity lies.
So true. And these just can't be words.
Mm-mm.
And let's just pause for a moment. These just can't be words. I want to be your trusted advisor. I'm here to
Yes.
advise. I'm here to be a consultant, air quotes, whatever y'all want to use.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to use the word, you got to back it up. And that's what I loved about this conversation is everything around us is changing. You got to walk into your clients and your future clients with that hat on that says, you know what? I'm here to help. How can I help you? Here's what I've been seeing. This is what I've been reading. This is what I've been learning. This is what I just saw the other day on this video. We got to bring this to the forefront with purpose and with passion.
And you don't get there without your heart. And that's why we're here at Selling from the Heart. And thank you, everybody who's out there cheering us on every day. When you like this, you share it, even the review you leave on this podcast, what it's doing, it's spreading this movement of authenticity and trust right here in this sales profession we all love. Things are heating up at Selling from the Heart. We got great guests coming throughout the summer. We're going to keep you fired up all summer long. So make sure to stay tuned and stay focused. We're wholeheartedly committed to making the summer of 2025 the best summer ever. We're going to stay on track and we're going to stay focused, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
We promise you that. We're grateful for everyone. Just continue to hang with us. Just continue. We're all building this together. This doesn't happen without all of you.
That's right. So till next time, keep being genuine, keep being authentic, keep building trust, learn to love selling, and most of all,
Sell from the heart.